Joining me now up front, two-time Grammy Award winner and actress Tia Carrere, who stars in the live-action version of Lilo and Stitch. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a unique perspective for you because 23 years ago, you were part of Lilo and Stitch. Would you bring us back just to that, and then we'll jump forward to what's happened today, which is fantastic.
It was crazy. I had a meeting with Chris Sanders and Dean DeBlois. Chris is the original creator of Stitch. He created Stitch in art school. And Dean DeBlois did Train Your Dragon. So both of them hugely successful animation directors. Chris was nominated for an Oscar last year with Wild Robot. But I met with them 25 years ago in Pasadena and had dinner, and they told me about this Disney movie they were doing, and they wanted me to be involved with it because I was born and raised in Hawaii. And I was like, Lilo and Stitch? It doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard before. And the parents are no longer there. So the older sister has to take care of the younger sister, and social services are going to be taking her away. What? And but I loved that it was set in Hawaii, and they asked me about, things like how would I say goodbye to my sister? And I said, there's this song about love and farewell called Aloha Oi. I think it'd be beautiful to sing in that hammock scene you're talking about. And, people from Hawaii talk with this pidgin accent, this kind of, broken English sort of accent, and they love that. So I got to infuse the character of Nani with a lot of really specific Hawaii traits. And so to be able to be here 23 years later and to see those aspects of it still in this live action version really makes me feel good. And I'm excited to be involved with the process, meeting with Chris Sanders about part
Yeah.
two working on.
And 23 years ago, you were voicing the part.
Yes, I was just a voice, and now I'm in the live action. So it just keeps evolving and changing, and getting to play Nani, the teenager that's trying to keep her sister and herself safe, and now being the social worker, Mrs. Kekoa, who's helping these girls, trying to keep Nani on the straight and narrow, and advocating for the sisters to stay together.
This time back in the Stitchiverse, shooting in Hawaii, which they could have done this here in Hollywood. They could have heck, they could have done it in any sound stage. They said no, we're going to do this in Hawaii. And that was a big difference for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's hard. I love virtual production. It makes a lot of things easier and less expensive, but you have to shoot some of it or most of it in the place where it's centered, and give local people jobs. And there's nothing like being at the base of the Ko'olau Mountains and shooting on the beach and having that authenticity.
And here, you know, okay, the 23 years later, this production becomes a $1 billion hit, crosses the $1 billion mark internationally at the box office. In your wildest dreams, had you even thought of that back then?
Uh, Nobody had any idea. I think originally, I think this was going to be on Disney Plus, maybe. And when they saw how amazing it was, and uh, then went with the theatrical release, it was incredible because you saw within the first month, I think we hit the $1 billion mark, or a little
Hmm.
over that. Now we're well over $1 billion. So it's heartening to see that people are still hungry for this kind of entertainment, and that they want to share it with their families. And people that saw me as the animated character were able to share it with their kids in the live action version. So we have a multi-generational legacy here.
Which brings us back to Disney Plus, because as of September 3rd, it's now going to be on Disney Plus, which expands the audience tremendously.
Exponential. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had three layers with this. I mean, theatrical release, digital purchases on demand, and now we have Disney Plus, which makes it so much more affordable for people that want to see it again and again and again. You can't go to the theater with your whole family again and again and again. I mean, you'll try, but it's a big deal. So now you can sit on the couch with grandma and grandpa and the parents and the kids and the friends and the cousins, and everybody can get in on the joy of Lilo and Stitch.
And for you, what is it meant for you for this part now uh,
Uh,
that you're playing Mrs. Kekoa?
I love being able to advocate for the younger woman that is Nani in this. Because where I'm at in my life, I have my kid's going to be 20 years old next month. I've gone through the different stages of my life, and now to be able to give back and to mentor that younger girl that I was, it's just perfect. It just dovetails perfectly with my ideology, where I'm in my life, and I can't wait to see where Mrs. Kekoa goes next.
At your core, Tia, are you a singer? My gosh, you're a Grammy Award-winning singer. Are you an actress? Are you a writer? At your core, when they say what do you identify with? What is it?
I'm an entertainer.
Oh,
And I am going on tour with Daniel Ho and Uncle George Kahumoku. We're going to go from like September till October, from, Oregon, Northern California, Arizona, Southern California, San Diego, everywhere in between. I'm going to be singing. And I just typed the words "the end" on my script that I'm written, producing, directing, and going to star in Hawaii. So I just keep going. I'm an entertainer.
so you could wind up in another film. You could wind up singing. You could wind up, my goodness, you could wind up on another daytime soap,
All
which
of
is, by the way, what was that? That was your first experience, wasn't
No, I was discovered in a grocery store in Waikiki.
it?
I was shopping for groceries, and a mother and father of a producer said, "Darling, you're gorgeous. You should be the female lead in my son's film." And I thought, I've never done any acting before. They said, "Oh, just go in and make pretend." And, so I just conjured up being a shy local Hawaiian girl that
Uh-huh.
fought the Caucasian Casanova. And that was the movie Aloha Summer. That's how I got my Screen Actors Guild card, made some money, and moved to Hollywood, and then got cast on General Hospital.
That's where that came in. Was that one of the hardest jobs? I understand just doing the daytime soaps are that's a tough gig, isn't it?
Yeah, daytime dramas are like 30 to 40 pages of dialogue a night when you're, the front runner story, and then you become the back burner, and then, front runner again. So you get to give your brain a little bit of a rest. But if you're, Frisco and Felicia, the who were the lead story on when I was on in 85, I mean, it was always them all the time. I don't know how they did it.
And what drives you? You just laid out what what the foreseeable future is going to be like, and one might get tired just hearing what you've got to do and where you've got to go. What drives you? What motivates you?
I'm endlessly curious about people. I love reminding people of their hearts, and it just fires me up to meet new people and share stories and stories of our experience, our shared experience, our different experiences. I like that. That's what excites me.
And as you move on in this wide world of entertainment, is there one thing you haven't done you'd like to do?
Well, directing. I've never been this impassioned about a story before. So to come up with this story and follow it through for the past year and a half that I've been working on it, to push it over that finish line of getting financed and in production and actually doing it. I mean, to direct a film is so much work. I have never been that way inclined before this story, so it must be pretty meaningful.
And a couple more questions, and then we'll get you onto your next. You really do have a busy schedule. What do you tell the people who just see you, fall in love with you, with Lilo, with Stitch? Why does it resonate so much? What is it about the characters that have just resonated with the public?
I think that families are where you find them these days. And we move so far away from our nuclear family that sometimes our family is our friends and associates and, business associates. It's the people that have your back wherever you are. Stitch is from outer space, Nani is, Lilo's older sister, but somehow they create this small dynamic family with, the help of their next door neighbor. And a lot of us people, these days resonate with that. It's not the family that we're born into that is our family, and and love can heal all. So I think that's a great overarching theme to leave people with as they go home.
And finally, Tia, what do you tell students, younger, really young kids who want to get into this business? What do you say to them? They come to you and they say, I want to do what you do, Tia.
I would say today, with our technological advances, that democratizes filmmaking tremendously. Pick up a camera, learn the lenses, film your own film. You don't need to wait for somebody to cast you in a film. You can make your own. You can release it on, any platform these days. You can go straight to where you want to distribute. So if you can, make your own movies, because it gets harder and harder, as the business contracts, because there has been a lot of contraction since the last strike. So I'm glad that I came up when I did 41 years ago, and that I have the name that I have, because it's a difficult time out there, and we're in this uh, transition in show business.
That's a good point. It's a difficult time coming up, but yet the ways, and you make it very evident, ways to get into the business, there's a lot more that we, as you put it, we're our own production companies if we want to be.
Yep.
And that we didn't have going into this. So
Mm-mm.
that's the plus. So there's the pluses and the minuses. And you
Learn the
certainly are
technology, make your own projects, make your own jobs.
and you certainly are proving uh, what you can do with talent and drive. And I thank you so much for taking time out. It is Lilo and Stitch as of the 3rd of September. It is on Disney Plus. And it just continues to entertain the masses. And you're such a big part of it. Thank you so much for joining us. Continued success. Look forward to talking to you again. Yeah. Thank you.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.